What's up, guys? It's Solly from Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about how to start calisthenics training. So I'm going to be covering a few things, so from beginner level, intermediate to advanced, and also the different things you can do with calisthenics. You know, there's so many different things, and you can also get really creative as well. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You can create your own path. So I'm going to go through that as well, and then also speak about how to gain strength and how to build muscle. All right, so I actually wrote an article for breaking muscle. It's going to be published soon. So this is what I'm going through. I'm just going to give you guys a brief description of what I wrote. I'm going to be looking at it here now with you guys. So when it's out, when it's official, when it's published, I'm going to have it in the description and link to it. And then you guys can go and you can check it out in more details. Okay, so starting off, everything is about programming. Like I always say, guys, everything has to match. So it all depends on it depends on you as an individual. Depends on your goal and your training. That's literally it. You need to match those two things. If your goal is strength, but you're training, you're doing like HIIT training, conditioning stuff, how's that matching? If your goal is to run a marathon, but you're training to build muscle, to like as your priority, like doesn't match. Okay, so this you need to get right, because if you don't get it right, this is where the frustration comes in. This is why I hear so many people saying, oh, why can't I do a pull-up? Why can't I do this, this and that? It's because you're not training properly. You're not doing the right training. So you need to make sure you get this right. All right, and the next, just going into the first 3 to 6 months of your training, from the first day you started calisthenics training, you want to focus on the basics. Your basics are going to be pull-ups, dips, rows, push-ups, handstands, and the L-sit. This covers pretty much every skill in calisthenics, every muscle group that you're going to be working in all these advanced skills. So master them. So the first 3 to 6 months, you're literally just doing reps. You're getting those reps in, high reps, low reps, different kind of training, different variations as well. You need to do different variations of these skills and just master them. Make them your warm-up. So also in the link, I'm gonna put in the description, I'm gonna put a link to my free beginner program. So it literally gives you guys step by step what to do. I think it's 6 weeks it is. So you can have a look at it. All right, so that's what you do the first 3 to 6 months. So also, I see a lot of people, they skip this part. If you skip this phase, you're gonna have to come back to it anyway, because there's gonna be so much weaknesses in your armor. It's gonna be ridiculous. Your core is gonna be messed up. You're gonna be lacking strength in certain areas, in certain muscles, and it's just so it's just pointless. So just stick to the 3-6 months and work on it. Really focus on it. Enjoy the time. And also, you can do this training for like a year. I've heard people who've like really top athletes who've done basics for literally 2 years. And if you see them now, like it's mad. It's crazy. So take your time with this phase and just get comfortable with it, and then you can move on to intermediate and advanced things. There's no rush. Like calisthenics is, don't think of days and weeks, think of months and years. All right, it's a journey, guys. Okay, it's gonna be part of your life. All right, moving on. So when you pass this phase, this is when you can start determining where you want to take your training, what you are actually interested in. So whatever got you interested in calisthenics in the first place, you can start doing it. So whether it's you want to do super strength skills, like the front lever, the planche, whatever, this is the time you do it, not in your beginner stage when you haven't even perfected your push-ups and your dips. Like, come on, guys, please. All right, anyway, so this is where you can take your freestyling to a new level. Start doing your combinations. This is when you can take your handstand, your balancing to a new level. This is when you can literally pinpoint what you want, how you want to train, and then just follow that. All right. What else do we have here? So with me, of course, I'm always talking about strength. It's what I prioritize. It's my number one goal. I just want to do some really amazing things with my body that 3-4 years ago I didn't believe I could do. So that's my goal. Like every single time I'm able to do something new, a new skill, like it brings me so much satisfaction because I'm literally proving myself wrong, and that's great in itself. So when it comes to strength, less is more, guys. Less is more. More exercises, more reps, more sets, more days training, more this. It's pointless, guys. All right. It's all about energy expenditure. So you need to focus on less exercises. All right. Less reps, higher sets. All right. And you don't have to be in the gym 7 days a week. Like in terms of strength training, 2 to 4 days a week is enough. Even 4 days, you have to build up to that. You have to allow your body time to be able to recover, to recover quickly between sessions. Because if I, let's say, train on a Monday and I go super heavy and I'm still sore on the Wednesday, but you train anyway, you're not really going to be making any strength gains. Well, not if you do this, if this is a continuous thing anyway, that you're doing week in, week out, you're not going to be making a lot of strength gains because you're not allowing your body to recover. You're building strength when you're recovering. So you train, you go home, you do whatever else, you work, or you live your life, you're recovering, and then the next time you do your session, you're a new man, you're a lot stronger, and now you can build on what you've been doing the previous months, the previous years. Okay, so 3 days. I think 3 days is good. Even 2 days. 2 days is perfect. Like you can really get good amount of work done, and you'll be progressing week in, week out, and it will be more sustainable. Whereas if you're training crazy days a week and you're still relatively new to the sport, yeah, your progress is gonna slow because your body's gonna be burnt. Like it's as much as we say our body is a machine, it's not really a machine. All right, you gotta take care of it. All right, you gotta take care of it. All right, anything else I missed in this? I think I covered everything that I have in the article on this one. Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna go more into detail on strength. So how to build strength. So when I'm speaking about strength, I'm speaking about absolute strength, which is 100%. So your 1 rep max. And I'm speaking about maximal strength, which is how you train to build strength, to be able to lift heavier, to do difficult skills. So your maximal strength, you're looking at about 85, 90% of your 1 rep max. All right, so something I haven't covered actually, which I did cover in this article, is the energy systems. So your body uses different energy systems depending on how difficult something is, so how heavy or how difficult it is, and also on the duration. So strength is quick and you're going at a high intensity. So here you use your creatine phosphate energy system, and this lasts for literally 12 seconds. So it's like super quick. So this is what I focused on a lot. So this is what I like to research and learn about and related to calisthenics. So if we know that your creatine phosphate is how the energy system you use to increase strength, to improve your nervous system for particular exercises, then like 30 seconds, for 60 seconds, 2 minutes, you're working something else. You're working a completely different energy system, and you're working on something that is no longer strength. So this is why I always say low reps, 1 to 5, and you do high sets. So this energy system is really good. It's available, but you also need to make sure that you rest. This is why we rest a long time during our session. So this is why you need like minimum 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I rest for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Heck, if something's super tough, I'll rest for 10 minutes. If I have the time, I'll rest for 10 minutes. So that allows for your creatine phosphates. So gonna go into a bit more detail. So this allows for ADP to be converted back to ATP, which is how you are going to be able to lift that same weight again, to do that harder skill again. If you don't allow this energy system to rest, then that's when you burn out and you're like, oh, how come it's so hard now and it was easy then? You just didn't allow yourself time to rest, so you need to make sure you rest. And now your other energy systems that your body uses is your anaerobic and your aerobic energy systems, as I said. So this is where you have your conditioning, your freestyling, your HIIT training, your endurance, your running, this kind of training, you know, where you feel that burn, where you feel, even muscle building, by the way, where you feel that burn, where you feel that pump. So this is where that lies. And completely different from the creatine phosphate. The creatine phosphate, there should be no huffing and puffing, there should be no burn, there should be no pump if you're training correctly. If you're training strength correctly, you're nice and chill. As Pavel Tsatsouline says, it's a practice. It's a practice, you know, you're honing a skill. So take that into consideration during your training. So try not to huff and puff during your strength training, all right? Unless it's super, super heavy. If I do that sometimes if it's 1 rep. So next up, I will speak about muscle building, and then we are done. And then you guys can have a look at the article yourselves. So building muscle, like run away from anybody who says that you can't build muscle with calisthenics. Of course you can, come on. Your body knows the difference between a body weight skill and a weight. It doesn't know if it's picking up a 6 kg or a 20 kg dumbbell. All it knows is resistance. It knows that, oh wow, this is really heavy. You know, I gotta do something about this. I gotta get stronger, you know? So when it comes to building muscle, it's the same. It's the same principles you do for weight training, you know? You train 6 to 12 reps. That's a good rep range to stimulate muscle growth at about 65-85% intensity of your 1 rep max. So obviously you don't always know the 1 rep max of the exercise you're doing, but you can also just perceive it, you know, like judge it on a scale of 1 to 10 of what you think. And yeah, the same methods apply. So mechanical tension, eccentric damage, metabolic stress. You do your push pulls, you do your drop sets. All the same techniques apply. Also, another thing, you don't have to divide the two. The two work together. Like if you look at gymnastics is a body weight sport, but they also use weights. You'll see them doing weighted pull-ups. You see them weighted dips. They use weights in the flexibility routines. So this notion that you can only do one or the other, no, it's not true. Use calisthenics and you can also use weights. When you use them together, it's actually quite good because calisthenics is quite limited when it comes to leg training, when it comes to your lower body. So mix in some weighted squats, weighted deadlifts, you know, all that fun stuff. And anything else I forget? Oh yeah, so also with our calisthenics exercises is really good because it's compound movements. It requires multiple muscle groups to do a particular skill, and which is really good to build a good core core stability and good core, but there's very limited exercise variations you can do to isolate a specific muscle. And we know that isolation is really good to make your muscles pop a little bit more, okay? So mix in some isolation exercises with weights, you know, whatever your goal is. If your goal is to build muscle, then do it with calisthenics and weights, you know. If you can, then do it. But if one of your goals is actually just to train calisthenics, just to train body weight exercises, that's fine. Then that's your goal. That's fine. You know, goal and training, they have to match. Okay, so that's everything, guys. So I'll put a link in the description when the article is out, and hopefully this helped you guys. The article goes into more details on everything I said. So thank you guys for listening, and see you on the next one.